Jesus. Jesus matters. Black lives don't matter. Jesus matters. When you.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to another episode of the Most Offensive Podcast. I'm Slimmy V, and today I am going to talk about Beverly Beatty, or Beverlyn Beatty, okay, the beautiful, black, courageous, brave woman that defaced the BLM mural in front of Trump Towers, okay? I would side with her on this one. Let me give you a perspective because I like to come out in a particular perspective just to give you some context as to why she has the right to do what she's doing. The BLM marches took place this year after Floyd was horribly killed by this white officer, okay? Everyone agreed. There was no one, right or left, that disagreed with this professor being in prison or possibly facing the death penalty, okay? Let's move on. These protests attracted what we call rioters and looters. These rioters and looters did everything under the sun. They burned buildings down, they looted stores, they burned cop cars, they threw things at police officers, they got into fights. The excuse that most of the people on their side said, well, looting and rioting is the voice of the unheard or the voice of the oppressed, whatever the quote is, that was their excuse. Something completely different when Beverlyn Beatty came out and did what she did. Talk about the hypocrisy, right? So that's one hypocrisy that I'm throwing at you right now. Let's move on. She bought black paint and she went to deface the BLM movement. Why? Because she does not believe that they are for black people, okay? So she's fighting against this.
They do it for black people, right? Black lives matter. Black lives matter. But you want to defund the police for black people. You're lying. No, we're not standing with Black Lives Matter. We want our police. Refund our police. Refund our police.
Let me give you a little bit of history with Beverlyn. Beverlyn is someone who has been doing this stuff for a long time. She has protests in front of Planned Parenthood because Planned Parenthood are in front of black neighborhoods. They are majority, percentage-wise, maybe 60, 70, 80% in black neighborhoods. We're killing our own. She's not for that. She has confronted feminist women in the Women March. She's fighting for black men. She has spoken in Chicago. She has been everywhere. She is not new to this. I can guarantee she is not getting paid to do what she's doing. So now that you know who she is, what she's done, where she's coming from, let me move further with the other hypocrisy, okay? Many people felt that it was wrong for her to do what she did to the BLM mural because that's not how conservatives do their thing. And her being a Christ woman, a Jesus believer, they were saying that it is not the way. But sometimes I guarantee that you have to fight fire with fire. This is why behind me you see the Punisher. I am dubbing her the Punisher of the conservative movement because she is fighting fire with fire. At some point in your life, to get what you want, you need to fight fire with fire. The same way you allow these rioters and these looters to light stores on fire, the Wendy's on fire, several stores on fire, fires in front of the White House, and you say, oh, they are being oppressed. The same reason why you allow these protesters to go out in droves and march despite the stay-home orders and despite this pandemic that's going on is the same reason why it's okay and I'm okay with her doing this. Perspective. This is my point. Let me move on with the third hypocrisy. Okay, fine. Many of you are saying like, oh, look, she is for cops. She is saying refund the cop while the BLM is saying defund the cops. Here's what happened. When you defund the cops, or as Ilhan Omar says, she wants to dismantle the police, that we do not need the police. I'm not too sure, don't correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe AOC had said something similar. Who gets hurt the most? Black neighborhoods. We have the most crime. We need the most police. It's not necessary that you remove the police and then crime suddenly disappear. So she's saying refund the police because she is for Black people. Okay? So understand that one. Let me move on. A police officer who was trying to apprehend Beverlyn got hurt.
The police. Devil. Refund the police. Refund the police. Refund
You okay? Guys, back up, back up. I got an ambulance coming for him. Somebody lost their keys. Somebody lost their keys.
Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Where y'all at? They don't care. They don't care about Black people. So
everyone said, look, you're hurting the police. He slipped and got hurt. Fine. That's true. And it sucked. Okay? I felt bad. When I seen it, I was like, oh gosh, he got hurt pretty bad. Everyone is cracking down on Beverlyn, saying, look what you did to this officer. I can't believe you did this. Where was the major news network? Okay? When protesters, rioters, or unlawfully was defacing statues, spray painting statues, spray painting murals. Okay? Unfortunately, one of the statues that fell down, forgot which city that was in, the statue fell on a protester, completely knocked them out. Skull wide open, brains probably hanging out. I might be over exaggerating this, but it was a mess.
Splitting him directly down the middle. You can actually see his skull. He was convulsing on the ground, and he lost a significant amount of blood before any type of ambulance or medic was able to get to him. We definitely want to keep him in our prayers.
Where was the mainstream news media to say, oh my gosh, what are these protesters doing? Let's bring them on here to have a talk and say, look, is there a different way that we can do this? No, but they want to tell Beverlyn, look, you're hurting the cops. There's a different way that you got to do this. No, I do not want to hear that. This is wrong. You guys are wrong. This whole BLM movement is going way beyond something that started out as peaceful as like, okay, let's get these cops in jail. Let's get these cops who killed this man behind bars. It happened. There are still people right now that are marching. These cops are in jail. Floyd is dead. Justice actually has been served. What are we continuing to do? You put in BLM in front of Trump Tower to insinuate what? This is a political statement. You are basically saying, okay, Trump and Trump supporters, you do not believe in Black lives. This is a political statement. This is virtue signaling. This is something that is going to cause division, because people are going to feel like, well, why are you putting this on the street? Do you not feel like we don't care? Do you feel like we hate blacks? Like, what are you trying to tell us? Okay, so this is the way people are looking at it. Okay, do Black Lives Matter? Yes, it does. Okay, but the whole idea behind Black Lives Matter, when it first appeared, I think it was 26. When did it appear? It appeared during Trayvon Martin, and it was under the impression that blacks was being killed by police officers like in droves. It almost as if they seemed to say that only black lives were being killed, where it's like, no, whites are being killed too. And if you want to look at a bigger issue, you gotta look at black on black. Don't say black on black, don't count, or it doesn't exist, because if it didn't exist, why do we have stats? Okay, so I've spoken my mind. Beverlyn Beatty, you are a superhero. You are the Punisher. Keep doing what you're doing. You are brave. You are fighting for a black man, and keep doing that. I am behind you. I am for you. I can't do what you're doing. I ain't got the gonads for that. I could be behind the screen doing my little videos. All right, so that's it, man. I give you props. All right, so anyway, keep doing what you're doing, because they doing what they doing, and the only way to fight fire is with fire. Okay, it's like the equation. If you do to one side, you do to the other side. Okay, so I feel you. I feel your pain. I feel and I understand why you do what you do. I'll feel the same way too. So the others, if you don't think she should be out there doing what she's doing, then talk to the other side also. Okay, it's all fair. All right, at some point, you're going to have to fight a bully, and you can't bring a knife to a gunfight. That's my take. If you're not offended, you're not listening. This is the most offensive podcast ever. I'm Slimmy Feet. See you next time. God bless, stress less, and let Yahweh give you rest. I'm out.